That person's name is... I can see it coming already. Adrian Andrews. Ellipses all around. Adrian Andrews. Called it. What? Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier. He tricked you, you dumbass. Oh, so that's the story. Edgeworth only let him do it because he knew he was right, but he got played. You just got played big time. Right down, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client. It is Adrian Andrews. What? Oh yeah. This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Uh-huh. All to help out Matt on guard. Thanks for making this case easier, the Killer. Until Mai gets saved, then we're kind of screwed. I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Matt on guard, perhaps? I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This can't be. I was deceived. Oh, anyways. This witness is telling a very serious lie. Proof. But you were the one who summoned this witness. Ugh! You, Shelly the Killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is not on guard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help produce his acquittal. Procure his acquittal. Oh wow. Thanks for helping us, to kill. Oh my god. So, do radios get psych waves? Psych waves? Cyclops. Just wondering. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. And that's not exactly the best thing in the world. Yeah. Prosecutor has failed to provide a motive and it has instead. Our goal was to drag out the trial by fighting Edgeworth with every bluff we have. Now that we have actual decisive shit on our side, we gotta hope Edgeworth can fight us. Because if we fight ourselves, then the Killer and Matt are gonna notice something. Provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Matt on guard is innocent. This is probably the first time I'm ever gonna say it, but no, give me the guilty verdict. Not yet. Wait, we gotta save Maya first. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion. Call me when you have reached a verdict. Bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. I love this case. I can never tell what's going to happen because there is no other case in the series like this. Like, defending a guilty person, because of Maya, of course, but, like, this is the only one that I've seen where you're actually defending a legitimate guilty person, and you know it. Like, the ways they go with this case is just awesome because they never do anything like this, and that's what's the coolest thing. I wish there were more cases like this where you were actually trying to get a guilty verdict for one reason or another. What now? With the way this is going, on guard we found innocent. I mean, technically, we're not trying to get a, well, we want a guilty verdict, but right now we just want to prolong it as long as possible. I kind of like that. That's the effect that I like. Just prolonging it, even though we know we're on the evil side, sort of. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And on guard, my client, I know he's guilty. I live with myself if I win this? Given the situation, I don't know. All I do know is both Adrian and Maya are fine, safe and fine in trials and tribulations. So something happens to not be evil somehow. I would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant. Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley the killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. It wasn't, well, what's her voice? I don't know. Female voices, they're also, Listen, everyone, please. The testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juwan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. the killer himself has testified. Why are we trusting his word? I guess we're supposed to trust people unless we're given a reason not to, but... And it was the Edgeworth who called him himself, and it was Edgeworth that kind of screwed himself over, so... If it was Phoenix that called the witness, that'd be one thing, but if Edgeworth calls it, that's another thing. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. That's not true. Ugh, words. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the Nickel Samurai's costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impact was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reason to want them both dead. No! Mr. Wright! I can't defend you. Edgeworth has to. You know the truth. Tell them! Here's a question. What do we do now? Do we help her? We're not in the position to help her because then Maya will get offed. Plus, it'll look weird for the defense to be helping them out. We've said it before though, the defense helping them out, so I guess it wouldn't be too weird. But at the same time, Maya said, find him guilty. For sure, find him guilty. If she gets out, she gets out. If not, she gets killed. I know she doesn't get killed. I know both of these two somehow make it out of this case. But for now, I would say we're going to try and help Adrian. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Oh my god. We're gonna get a not guilty verdict, and for once that's not what we want. Before I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? If I take the not guilty verdict, there's no way to save Andrews, but spoiler, I know they both turn out fine, so I'm thinking I have to try and save Andrews and Maya will somehow be okay. The show must go on. This was the plan. I want them both off. I know they both get away. Maya and Adrian, that is. Don't know how it happens, but I'm assuming it comes from the second one. Because the first one, that's it, the verdict, and I would lose, right? Request the trial continue. Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept I'm not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Madame Guard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. Let Miss Andrews be convicted. I'm no better than Guard. Even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact. It is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. The trust between a prosecutor and the defense attorney. Aha! Development! I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Well, no shit you do. Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But, that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet. To see through this witness's lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. Oh yeah, Phoenix Wright, ace attorney of awesomeness, baby. Still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Your Honor. Let's do this, round 2. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About... All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need from me? Oh, great, we have to come up with a question, don't we? I don't know. Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are, usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedure, it is any wonder no one likes to go to court? About my client, part 2. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Joan Carter was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. The act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. Screw your rules, I have green hair. This is the most unexpected turn of events for the, 5th time now? I know, this case is awesome, right? However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Here, bolt to the ship. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this. I need to question all the testimony. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here. Playing monkey. Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. Both parties are allowed to cross-examine the witness. It's just whoever called the witness is the other person cross-examined first. I think that's how it does. I don't know much about trials. I just know that both of them do get a chance to cross-examine the witness. At least over here. I don't know about in Japan. And this is supposed to be more based on Japan's judicial system, but I'm not sure. You scrutinize the testimony, then. Then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes two of us. Oh, please, no one understands. About my client, part number 2. As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, resonator. Okay. Dots. What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicion on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness. About requesting a hit. Yes? How much is your fee? I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. Ah! No! I'm not thinking of hiring Mr. Wright. Yes? You want to kill me? You want me dead, don't you? I love this game so much. Capcom, translators, everyone, you're awesome. Oh my god. What? Why would you think something like that? The judge is always against. Guilty, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You are hereby declared guilty of the future murder of myself. I gotta compose myself. Let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? Oh, that was the best. Something kind of tampering with the scene of the crime. Uh-huh. I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Ah, yeah. Well, changing occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty. You are just as guilty as they are, dude. And that goes without saying, Mr. the Killer. But they are the actual killer. I don't care who hired them. You can't just treat them as some stupid murder weapon. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. Frame another for the crime? Really now? Really? Talking about the button and the knife. Yes, and my business card. Oh. This card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police, I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy? My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. You gotta love a man who's good at what he does. Unless he's an assassin, in which case you gotta run away scared. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight. Something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not, but him being here. But pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Really now? Really, Mr. the Killer? So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. No, I already told you, I have no intention of ever using your services. The judge has an ellipsis. Why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on trial here? The future murder! Anyways, Adrian Andrews already knows from the very beginning that Juan Cordo was dead. This is the judge's voice. He has suddenly become the killer. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Cordo was dead. Really now? Did he? She. From the very beginning? That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. Really now? Why? Do you support the whole camera thing? If that's the case, that's odd. Huh? What's odd? I already knew from the very beginning that Joan Carter was dead. Yeah, I'm just gonna get to the thing first. What are you gonna do now, Phoenix? All I can do is expose the lies. That's true. However, you realize that'll be very bad for our client, right? I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet. Whether I'm helping my side or hurting my side, it doesn't matter. Whoever's winning, I am against you. One thing I simply cannot. My client did I do this one already? Yeah, the bottom did this one already. Da 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 da. There's the season to be da 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 da. I think I did this one too, but just in case, I am pressing it. You're saying most clients are stupid. Yes, I am. The judge. Funny. That's a joke. It's pretty funny for a joke. Joan Carter was dead. Yes, he was. From the very beginning? That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what this is. It's odd. Oh, okay, no, I've done this one already too. Even more appalling is the creation and plan. Okay, this is new, for sure. Why do you think your clients did that? What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. And why would someone who has requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. On God. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible. Huh? My job is to kill, that is all, and to leave my business card behind, naturally. Naturally! The business card is so my clients may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. And that's all you have to testify? Yes, and I pray that I'll never be called to the stand again. Again? As in you plan to continue? I must, as I have yet to find the person to take my place and become the fourth successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? I love the killer. Oh my god, he's the most coolest villain ever. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just gushing at the moment right now. Mainly it's because of all the high of loving this case so much that it's upping my perspective of the killer, but I don't know. As of right now, the killer is the best villain in the series. Oh my god. Excuse me? No. I'm fine, really. Oh, you really now? I love this! I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. What are you gonna do? I don't press everything twice? Did he say anything that means anything? Did I have to press something again? Let me just look this over. As I've already... yeah. I think I simply cannot overlook is tampering. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the crime. The scene. I'm gonna press everything again, and then I'm gonna look. I'll pay attention to which one Edward says that's odd statement, and that's probably the one I have to present something on, if I have to present something. Glad Mr. Wright, if I press him, yeah, witness. Now this is the funny one. Yeah, haha, Mr. Wright, you're gonna kill me! You want me dead? Anyways, guilty. Yeah, it's still funny. Anyways, I just want to get to the one. Yeah. So yeah, about future Let's Plays. I got nothing. I'm just trying to shoot the shit with you guys, with myself. Anyways, my client did it to frame another for the crime. Yes, he did, or she, or whatever. Yeah, that's what you talking about, girl? This guy. No one has to wait. I was making a point. I try to make my business. He's pretty devoted to his work. That is something, okay. While pretending to be the first passenger to escape the body and enter the scene. You're saying most clients won't do such a thing. That is correct. Usually most people do it better, but it's this one, isn't it? The beginning? That's correct. The arm is that's odd. Okay, it's this statement. I want to check that one. Adrian already knew from the very beginning that John Carter was dead. I've got an idea of it actually, but I'm gonna do the rest just in case. Yeah. What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. That's so good. That's true. You assume it was probably that's the case. Yeah, you can't do that. No. Okay, even if they say it's for something, that is what I was referring to. Okay, last check. After this, I have an idea. No thanks. It's okay. I kinda think my job's decent. Maybe after, I lose my badge, I'll consider. No. Okay. I've got an idea now. One thing. Let's see.